Refer to your X3 Xvivo manual for additional guidance on changing a sensor pod, also known as a mini pod. In this video, we will show you how to change a sensor pod for a processing chamber. First, you will need to contact our service department to order a replacement sensor pod. Once you have received the replacement sensor pod, turn control off in the module where the sensor pod is being replaced. Locate the enclosure panel the sensor pod is located behind, usually above the module where you are changing the pod. Incubator sensor pods are located behind the access door on the back of the incubator. Using a flathead screwdriver, unlock all screws on the panel by turning them counterclockwise. Once the screws are unlocked, remove the panel and set it aside. For easier access, the whole pod assembly can be flipped down toward the user. On the sensor pod you need to change, unclip both connectors holding it into the sensor assembly. Carefully pull the pod from the sensor assembly and install the new sensor pod into the same position, making sure that all connections line up correctly. Lock both sides of the new sensor pod into the assembly. Carefully flip the sensor assembly back up into the enclosure. Return and secure the enclosure panel by locking all of the screws with the flathead screwdriver by turning them clockwise. The calibration of the new sensor will need to be checked before use. Once calibration is complete, control can be turned back on in the module where the sensor pod was replaced. For any other questions on changing a sensor pod, contact our service department.